navigating the social world can be, well, it can be really complex. And for a lot of kids, it can feel like they're trying to read a book, but half the pages are missing. Today, we're going to talk about a really powerful tool designed to fill in those exact gaps: social stories. Let's dive into how this simple idea can build some pretty profound understanding and connection.
To really get why this matters so much, let's start with a really personal perspective. This quote is from Candace, a mom whose son was diagnosed with ASD level 2. She said that the uncertainty of his future often keeps me up at night. And wow, that's a feeling that just speaks to the heart of so many parents and caregivers out there.
So Candace made it her mission to create the best possible environment for her son. And it's that exact drive, that search for tools that can empower and clarify things, that leads us right to what we're talking about today.
So what is this tool that can help bridge that gap in understanding? Okay, let's get right into it. What exactly is a social story?
A social story, developed by a brilliant woman named Carol Gray, is basically a simple short story. The whole point is to share accurate social information in a way that feels really positive and reassuring. It breaks down these confusing social situations into clear, understandable little pieces.
Now, this is a really, really crucial point. A social story is not about forcing a kid to comply or trying to make them act a certain way. Nope. It's all about empowerment. It's about giving them the social clues they might be missing so they can walk into situations with a lot more confidence.
And the impact? Oh, it's huge. Just by clarifying what's going to happen ahead of time, a social story can seriously decrease anxiety. It helps with self-awareness and makes big transitions so much smoother. The best way to think about it is like giving someone a safe, predictable map for a social journey. It's especially effective for folks who are very literal and concrete thinkers, like many autistic individuals.
So you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds great, but how do I actually make one? Well, what's so powerful about this is that pretty much anyone can do it. Let's walk through the process step by step.
All right, so there are 5 key steps. First, you pick one single topic. Keep it specific, like going to a baseball game. Then you do a little homework to really understand things from the child's point of view. After you write the story, and there are some key rules we'll get to, you add pictures, and then finally, you practice it together, over and over.
To make absolutely sure the story is supportive and not just a list it demands, there's one core principle you have to follow. I mean, this is the big one. It's all about the balance of your sentences.
And here it is. For every single sentence that coaches or suggests an action, you need to have at least 2 sentences that just describe the situation. That right there ensures the story's main job is to inform and reassure, not to give orders.
This chart kind of breaks down the other key guidelines. For example, you always want to write in the first or third person, so using I or they. Why? Because the word you can feel really accusatory. The language has to be super literal and positive so there's no confusion. And by including the feelings of others, you're gently building that bridge to empathy. It's so smart.
And here is a pro tip, and this is backed by research. Make it a team effort. Seriously, when you get the child involved in actually creating the story, letting them pick out the pictures or help describe the steps, they feel this sense of ownership. And that buy-in, it makes the whole thing way more powerful.
So what does this all actually look like in practice? Let's take a look at the real-world impact of this simple but powerful shift in perspective.
This slide just illustrates the difference perfectly. On the left, that directive, you should share the toys, that's a command, right? But the descriptive sentence on the right, other children might like a turn with the toys. That offers information. It opens a door to understanding someone else's point of view without any judgment or pressure. It's a total game changer.
And listen, the research totally backs this up. When they're created and used the right way, social stories are proven to be incredibly effective. They give kids a safe mental framework that you can actually measure. It improves social comprehension, helps teach skills, and cuts down on anxiety in new situations.
So the bottom line is that this simple, respectful tool can lead to some really profound changes. It can help turn a child's anxiety into confidence, their confusion into understanding, and maybe even a feeling of isolation into a more meaningful connection with others.
So, let's leave you with a final thought to take away from all this. Think about a specific situation, a routine, or maybe a transition in your life or in the life of a child you know. What's the very first story you could write that might just build that bridge and make all the difference?